Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a reading for water signs. It's funny, I was just going to list off the earth signs. Water, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. And what I'm doing is I'm combining them, okay? I did earth yesterday and I was going to do like each separate sign and then take 3 cards. But the whole thing just read together like I knew that it would. So we're just going to go ahead and do a spread. And as in all my readings, I feel like you should be able to find yourself in it. You know, these are really, this is how I look at my readings. I do spiritual readings, and tarot is the tool or object that I feel like my guides tell me the story through. So I always connect with my guides before a reading, and I feel like my guides are out there like finding who the reading is for, speaking to your guide. So that's why I say you'll just find yourself in a reading. Yeah, okay. We're going to start with the Tarot of Dreams. Give it a cut. You know, I feel like all my readings, no matter who they're for, what's the title, if you are intuitively guided to that reading, then it's meant for you. Even if the sign doesn't match you, or, you know, if I do a twin flame, but you're with a soulmate, you know, but you feel called to that reading, definitely listen to it. All right, let's begin, guys. We have the 3 of Cups. It did come in reverse, so I'm going to leave it that way. Boy, that card looks beat up already, and this is a really new deck. We have the 10 of Pentacles also in reverse. We have the 6 of Pentacles. It's like someone's giving away the house. We have, look at this, the 4 of Pentacles. No wonder I felt like saying Earth in the beginning. Look at all the Pentacles for you. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. There's some shadows being cast upon this 10 of Pentacles. And, you know, what I have to say is I almost feel like this is the energy of like someone's giving away the house. And I feel like in a sense, now this probably already happened, but I feel like in a sense what it's doing is it's like it's sucking the joy out of me. You know, so, and I feel like it's, you know, that's that. Like it's happening. Now what? Right? And then we come down to the 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands is about a new path. Something that is inspired within you. It's interesting because it does feel like, in a way, like I feel like the joy has been sucked out of me. Look at the earth coming out. Now I have to say, water, this may be asking you to take on the energy of Earth. Let's see. We have the Hermit card of Virgo. We have Virgo and Pisces side by side here. Or Virgo Cancer side by side. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the King of Wands. Can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Doesn't have to be. This could be an energy of someone who's aggressive, someone who causes jealousy or is jealous. This may be someone that you've been around, whether it be someone in your workforce or in your home. You have a lot of energy of in the home. You know, and I do feel like, you know, like someone has taken from this well, at one time felt like the Ten of Pentacles, right? And had a lot of joy within those I would say four walls, but there's more than four walls. Anyway, I feel like someone has taken something and given it to another. And in the Five of Pentacles, that means it kind of forced your hand. This feels like something that maybe had been done like behind your back, or I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying I don't know. If I look at these two corners, I have the Five of Pentacles, and then I have the Two of Wands. She's looking back at that Two of Wands. So the Five of Pentacles is really when you feel like your hand's been forced. It's kind of like a tower. It's something that can happen unexpected. It's the energy of feeling like you've been thrown out in the cold, with nothing but the clothes on your back type of energy. And it does speak about the period that you go through, right? It's a struggle. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a struggle. And some of you, like, literally had to leave your homes type of energy. It is a struggle. However, what it really talks about is to remember who you are within the Five of Pentacles. This is the energy of the spirit warrior. And that just means I can get through whatever this is, whatever this struggle is. Looking back, she's looking at the Hermit. And I kind of like that, because this is someone who wants to understand not only like the towers, but also the shadows. Wants to understand. The Hermit's looking right at the shadows. And he's gaining illumination from it. He or she. Okay, interesting. Let's bring in the Light Seers deck. These two decks were bought at the same time. So I like using them together. They work really well together. It is a beautiful rainy day, and it just feels like the perfect time to do your reading. Okay, well, that came out quick. We have the Fool. So clearly something happened. Something forced your hand that forces you to make a move that maybe you weren't ready for, you weren't prepared for. But nonetheless, and I feel like when these kind of things happen, there is just that struggle, and it can mean like financially, but it can also mean emotionally, all of that, right? Five of Pentacles, though, does talk about a period where you start walking towards a lot of soulmate family, and and that's just like help arise when you least expect it. Can be at the last moment. And maybe it is about, continuing to have hope, because it can arrive at the last moment. Anyways, the Fool tells me that you are starting something new, right? You are taking on the Fool's energy. Some of you, I feel like you quit drinking. That may be a good thing. Not that I feel like, I'm not going to say whether you had to or not. I feel like it's just something that you decided to do with the Page of Pentacles. It's interesting. I feel like some of you are leaving like your home to seek like further education. whatever type of education. We have the hangman. Maybe the funds, that was my plan, but my funds were stopped. I'm waiting for, waiting for something within the Six of Pentacles to come to help me, right? To help me move. The hangman's, ultimately the hangman's searching for wisdom. Wisdom on my next step. And the hermit's right down here below it. So, if nothing else, this is an inner knowing. If you question a path, like this is an inner type knowing, like nobody can answer that for you but you. But anyway, I feel like some of you, you may have been waiting for something to come your way to help you then move into the next step of your life, of your schooling, of your career, whatever it is. I feel like some of you have also made the decision, it's like to reinvent yourself. And as you reinvent yourself, I feel like you're researching it. You're, I feel like you're starting something. Maybe it's new, but it's weird because I feel like it's something that's always been within you. So anyways, and I feel like, again, this hangman is a big tell of something that, or even yourself, stopping the movement of this for now. Okay, we have the Five of Swords. Well, that's good because it's in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords. I wish that was in reverse, but we'll work through it. We have the Five of Wands. It's crazy, the energy all of a sudden we're receiving. And then this is kind of beautiful. We have the Sun coming over the Hermit. First of all, that is Leo and Virgo. And when I see that, I often feel like my son, who's a Leo, is in our reading, right? Directly connected because I'm a Virgo. And if so, that's just to help to give us even more awareness. So anyway, let's go back. After the Hangman, we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so the Five of Swords is coming over the Four of Pentacles. And I feel the Four of Pentacles is your homestead, let's just say. Five of Swords is the toxicity that is there. Whether it be through a person, whether it just be through the energy. Some of you may just need to clear your house. Like give your house a clearing. Whether that be with sage or prayer, I don't know. I feel like, if you relate to that, you already know how you do it. Anyway, because there could be some residual energy that feels like it's kind of like lingering. So anyways, it's about the toxicities in your life and believing it. And it's interesting, it's in reverse because I feel like for some of you, this is just energy that maybe you had around you or you just always have around you. But nonetheless, I feel like what you're doing is either, if I can't leave it, I'm ignoring it. I'm not allowing it to affect me. Or if I can leave it, I'm leaving it. And some of you are seeking that very question, like, should I go, should I stay or should I go? Because then we move into the Two of Wands, and this is about a new beginning, especially with the Fool here. But over this, in the Two of Wands, I don't feel like I've made the jump yet. I'm, like my mind, my soul is activated, but have actually made the move yet. Because the Fool would say, take the leap. Right? That's what the Fool would do. The Fool would take a leap. And, but the Nine of Swords is here. So, we got to address this because, And I have a feeling this Nine of Swords has a lot to do with this Five of Swords, and what I mean by that is other people. And it may be like other people's ideas or beliefs, thought system, where maybe you've been around it for so long that you start to absorb it, you start to believe it, you start to claim it as your own. And then what it does, because really it's like your spirit and your mind fighting, so to speak, because your spirit knows that none of that energy belongs to you. That none of it, if it's like it's affecting my confidence to go do something, you know, Divine would say, I did not put that there. I did not put that there. So you just have to figure that out. And I feel like it's more about what someone says to you, either about what you want to do, what you're going to do. I feel like do it. And it's like someone saying, like you're saying, like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I want to become a nurse. And I don't know, like your sister says, like, you crazy, you could never be a nurse, you'd be terrible as a nurse, blah 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 blah, right? And then you taking that energy on, believing it, right? What does that do? Well, it stops us in our tracks, so to speak, of chasing our dream. So, Nine of Swords, it's about reflection, right? The nine, I've got to reflect over it. Look at the last 9 years of your life also. That could tell you like where some of this energy has come, but it can also come way back from childhood. So anyways, let's keep moving on. Then we move into the Five of Wands and the sun right next to it. So it's interesting. It's almost like I'm having this argument with someone, and like they're 100% behind like what they think the answer is, and I'm 100% what I think, right? It's like I know it. I can guarantee I know it. But it's funny because as I say that, I think, how many times have I said that to someone, like, I know I'm right. And then you look it up and it's like, nope, I'm wrong. But you're so sure. You're so sure you're right. So I feel like, what I feel like for you, Water, is I feel like there's a lot of energy you just gotta cut. You just gotta let go of. I feel like this is saying that, you can't win all the battles. And even if you do win the battle, was it worth the war? You have the Hermit with the sun. So this is complete illumination for you, where, you do have shadows. The moon casts shadows. And it doesn't mean it's a negative thing. It just does, right? But the Hermit, especially with the sun, looking right at the shadows, can literally show you your way. And if maybe that's what the Hangman is here for, right? That is what I'm seeking. Seeking me again, right? Seeking me again. We have the Two of Wands. Now, I don't know if it came in reverse or not, but we'll just look at it. So the Two of Wands, we have the Two of Wands right over here too. So it's definitely relating this Five of Pentacles to this Two of Wands. So I do feel like for some of you, it's like, it's almost like being, I don't know, like I remember times in my life where I didn't have a choice but to like reinvent myself and how to do it quickly. Especially if it had to do with like my pentacles. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't afford not to have pentacles, right? So I had to reinvent if something happened to me, if I lost a job or what have you. And I feel like that's the path a lot of you are on. It's like you're reinventing yourself. And I feel like you're being guided to learn more. First of all, I feel like is to learn more about I feel like this hangman is like saying, this is what hangs you up. This is what hangs you up. Other people's thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and I feel like they're coming into your home. And that puts you right away into the Nine of Swords. It starts to snowball. The worry starts to snowball. The Nine of Swords says this worry is really unnecessary. Why? Well, number one, because you yourself can fix this problem. So maybe I was thrown out in the cold. So I feel like what it's saying is I'm stopping for a minute and I'm saying, okay, Sandy, what talents do you have? What do you know that you can do? What avenue? You know what I mean? It's thinking it out, so to speak. But I feel like what this is saying, your guides are saying, is you can find your way out of this. Some of you, I feel like, are struggling even financially, and you need to. I just feel like think about what it is you can do. Two of Wands coming over this Five of Pentacles and being the very first card. It tells me that you're being inspired. It tells me that you may be receiving epiphanies or spiritual direction. What it doesn't tell me is, are you listening to it? Because the Nine of Swords is a strong energy. And it could, I don't want to say could overtake it. But it could certainly put you in a much less aware state. And I don't feel like you have the luxury of being unaware. You know what I mean? So I feel like some of you are in this struggle. But at the same time, you're receiving inspiration or epiphanies, something. So it's not like just rediscover yourself from zero. You're being inspired on like a good direction. I don't even want to say good. I want to say, a spiritual direction. And I don't mean it automatically in the spiritual world. What I mean is, I'm connecting to my guides and I'm allowing them to do their job, right? And I'm doing my job. Spirit, the divine is saying, I can't control this Nine of Swords. You have to. It's you who has to. It has to come from your reflection. And no wonder it's tied back to the Five of Pentacles, because the Five of Pentacles wants to say to you, don't think that you are weak. Don't think that you are other people's beliefs. You are not. You are a spirit warrior. And that means that you have been through much. You have been through much. There's nothing that you go through that someone else hasn't gone through. Anyway, and I'm saying this because even in the midst of this, it can be saying that I just need to allow myself to be inspired and follow that feeling. Follow that feeling. Because after all, here is the sun coming over the Hermit. I feel like that's really a beautiful energy of your spirituality and your inner child in your earthly being. Like, just feels like true harmony. Maybe this is where you're trusting yourself a lot more. You're connecting a lot more. And I don't mean just like to get spiritual messages. I mean like you're filling yourself up with this spiritual love. It is like renewing you. So, I just feel like I just wish this Nine of Swords was not here. I want to just take a card or two over it. Now, do I think that you will overcome this? I do. You may be forced to, though. And that's what the Five of Pentacles means to me. Sometimes I'm forced to go through it. But listen, even if you're forced to go through it, it's showing you that there's something waiting that just feels right. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands coming over that Nine of Swords. So what's that tell us? That tells us that this excess worry is coming from what you feel responsible to. You know what I mean? Like, you may be telling yourself in the Nine of Swords, like, I want this Two of Wands, right? I want to be the Fool. But I can't, which is a bad word. I can't, because I'm in my head. I'm believing everything. I'm thinking of I mean, look at these. Are they ravens? Just flying above her head. It's almost like waiting to pick her apart. Right? They're just waiting for her to submit so that they can come down and pick her apart. A lot of this worry is coming from energy that you feel responsible for. Ten of Wands is a tough journey. But it's a journey. I shouldn't say it's a tough journey. I just got to know when it's over. You know, I got to know what's my responsibility and what's not my responsibility. You know, Ten of Wands, this is where often we find ourselves carrying other people's responsibilities, and they're truly not ours. We're not meant to, right? We're not meant to, in a way. Listen, and I'm talking about taking care of people's responsibilities who maybe could be taking care of them themselves, right? Right? They need to go through this Five of Pentacles. Because if we don't allow them to go through this struggle, will they ever come to the other side? That's what I feel like. I don't know. Anyways, again, the Nine of Swords coming before that says, that's what's telling me that I feel like you're taking on other people's responsibilities in a way. I feel like you got to think about you now. This is saying, think about you. Think about you. Okay? Because the only card that I worry about in this whole spread would be the Nine of Swords. And unfortunately, nobody can change it for you but you, right? Because this is what I tell myself. This is what I think are my beliefs, and often they're not. They're other people's. You know, this is when I really want to do something, be something, but you keep talking yourself out of it. That's because you're holding on to like residual energy, negative energy. Excuse me, but I feel like you can clear this. And it may be with the sun here, right? With the sun and the moon, right? Here's the shadows coming over that. Well, the sun's going to illuminate everything. So I feel like there's complete awareness over this path. That's why, in a way, I know that you're going to be fine. Because the awareness is so deep that I feel like even if you're in this, what feels like darker energy, the sun's still here, right? And it's here for everyone. So, listen. Bottom line is, I feel like the joy has been sucked out of some of your lives. And it just doesn't seem fair. Because I feel like there's so much that you can give the world in many different ways. But what's happened, I feel like, is just, you know, like even the stresses of life have landed on your shoulders. And see, one of the main things here, though, is it's saying, we've got to go back to this Five of Pentacles again. Like, I can't allow the struggle to stop me. This is a time when I have to move through it. It's very important to move through it. And listen, the Hermit is right there. So, you know, during the struggle, you have so much divine help right there. Ask, help me, show me the sign, which way should I go? But then you gotta, you know, like she's just like quiet in her mind, looking out the window, right? Allowing herself to receive that inspiration. I know that you're going to receive it with the sun here. And I feel like this is covering all aspects, like your spiritual self and your humanness, your life, your material world, your the sun talks about laughter and joy and happiness. Well, I know that it was kind of been sucked out for a while. But listen, we don't want. Sometimes we don't. What we have to realize is that we're the ones who create our own happiness, because we don't want to look like outward and say, I want someone who's going to make me happy. Because your guides will always say, you got to make yourself happy first, right? And some of you, I feel like this is a time when, this is a time to be into your material house, I think, into knowledge, trusting this inspiration, this fire in your belly, really trusting it and going with it, because I feel like it's taking you on a very special path. And it feels like a path that really is, like you're natural at. You're always meant to, it's interesting because, I feel like I feel weak back here, but when I put this energy together and I look over here, this Five of Pentacles with the Hermit and the Sun and the Two of Wands, this is like in my mind craziness, right? But this is me turning that around. And then when I look up here, I feel like, my God, like the energy I was living in here, over here, like my future self is going to look back and be like, what were you thinking? But this is not about judgment. This is about learning, right? These are about experiences that you had. Maybe the experiences, you got to learn through life that other people's opinions aren't always true, right? You got to trust who you are, trust your signs, trust your intuition, and then follow that. And, I feel like for some of you, there's energy that maybe you cannot get away from. But I feel like, don't think that you can't still reinvent yourself, so to speak. Even amidst that energy, is still finding that clarity of who you are, right? I'm a spirit warrior, and I am being inspired right now by my beautiful spiritual team, and they're telling me it's time to take on the Fool's energy. That means that the past is not what is leading my future any longer. The Fool is the present moment, right? The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. And I just feel like you're going to. I just feel very confident that you're going to. And I feel like, in a way, for some of you, I don't know that you even had a choice. And maybe if you look at it that way, like, why is it so difficult? Well, it may be difficult because I've allowed this energy for too long. And this is saying it doesn't have to be difficult, but there's something within the Five of Pentacles where you're going through that struggle so you can realize who you are, right? And boom, the sun comes out. Hello. So anyways, I wasn't going to leave this a long reading. Look at that. Well, I mean, what a beautiful bottom card. The Queen of Cups. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. This queen, I just love this queen in here. She is connected, right? She's connected. You can see the connection. And, it's not just like, she's connected to all, really, I feel. Right? What's she doing? It's like she's quieting her mind. I feel like she's having a cup of tea. This may talk about in the morning, like a way, like when you're having your cup of tea, like a quiet moment, maybe a time to say, affirmations. But in some way, I feel like connecting. Like the morning feels like, it's interesting because often I get it's at night. But for you, I feel like it's the morning. maybe when the only time you have alone time. So use that to connect, because again, you're being, your intuition or divine is sending like epiphanies and ideas to you, but for a reason, not just to send to you, right? It's like when you receive these, you are supposed to put them in action. But over here, we can certainly talk ourselves out of it. So I feel like that is where I'm going to leave it, because, different people are going to be, and that's why I'm okay with combining the whole reading, because I feel like, we're all at different levels within a reading, and you'll know where you're at. Just think, if you're coming here and you're in that heaviness right now, well, this is really showing you a way out, because really that's what this reading is about. You want out of the struggle? You can get out of that struggle, but it is going to take your effort. But your effort is connected to such beautiful spiritual type energy, and you got to find like that inner kid again, and I think the inner kid and the full inner child. I don't know why I'm calling it a kid. You put those two energies together, and listen. No wonder this queen is so connected. So ultimately, I feel like that can be you, that should be you, or that will be you. We have the Empress. Look at that right below that. The Empress is about birthing of ideas. This could be something that, is ready to come out. She looks like she's 9 months there, like ready to burst. She's got the Queen of Pentacles under that. So, a lot of earth. Let's go talk about this. Is really a time period for you to think about your pentacles, your material world. And speaking of, I think my daughter, because the kids went back to school, and I think she's going to be back on her channel again. So definitely, if you've missed her, hopefully she'll be able to start soon. Jenny Love Tarot. And if you don't know of her, check her out. She's much like me, but she does them a little shorter, which some of you appreciate. Anyways, I love you guys. Again, I feel like this is the perfect day to do your reading. Remember who you are. You are a spirit warrior. Those aren't just words. That is who you are. Remember that. Sometimes I'm a spirit warrior. No, you truly are a spirit warrior. Why? Because you have been through it. You have overcome. No wonder the Empress is there too, right? All these experiences can teach and show and guide, but I have to know them. I have to know the reality of them, right? The sun, the illumination, what's truth and what's false, right? Because over here, I feel like I'm in false ideas, and these can be false thoughts. And it can be based because, listen, you may not even know where they're based from. Just like, why do I keep having self-doubt? Even in the midst of that self-doubt, I feel like still go forward, because that may be what you need. You may need to see a little bit of the light within what you do. And I feel like if that's what you need, then that's what you shall receive. So, as long as you're moving through that struggle, if that is what you need, that is what you will receive. And don't forget, in the Five of Pentacles, where she's heading is the Six of Pentacles. And that's a beautiful time. That's a very, what did I learn? What did it tell me that I've learned? I've learned compassion. Compassion for myself. Compassion for my fellow man. My fellow brother and sister. Empathy. Empathy, in the world. All of that. You become strong. Independent, that type of person. You become who you truly are, and that is what it's saying over here. You can certainly hold yourself back, and the Hangman may be doing that. Again, I feel like it's based a lot in false beliefs, but nonetheless, it's got to be your action, right? You've got to move through it, and I promise you, if you move through it, follow the inspiration. I feel like you're going to have a different life. You're going to have a much different life, a much more controlled life. And I mean by you. A much more abundant life. That I definitely feel. But I've got to take some chances here. So, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys, as always. Dang it, I'm over 40 minutes. What are you going to do? I wish you nothing but love, and I hope you all find that ultimate path, because that's what it's speaking of. So anyways, I love you. Thank you for, I throw out different types of readings here and there. I just follow what I'm guided. And I was followed to combine, so I did. So anyway, little extra. Anyways, guys, I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.